So, good day, Arthritis Warriors. I'm Dr. Jonathan Flor-Delis. You can call me Dr. Joff, and today we have a very special guest. Sir, please introduce yourself.
Hi, my name is Ron Holst.
And Sir Ron, tell the Arthritis Warriors what type of issue did you have, the pain that you felt?
Yeah, so I had osteoarthritis in my right hip, and I felt a lot of pain, and I let it go maybe 1 year too long before I had the doctor involved in repairing that situation.
And it came to a point that some patients wait 5 years, they're already on a wheelchair. How were you doing in that 1 year?
Yeah, so I had progressed from a cane to crutches, and just was not very mobile. And I think you described after getting inside, you found that there were curls or little pieces of bone rolling around in the joint. So yeah, it was not good.
Okay, so just to for everyone to know, you've had a full hip replacement. We had an anterior hip replacement. We did an anterior hip replacement, and now you are exactly about 3-4 weeks after surgery. That's correct.
4 weeks tomorrow.
4 weeks tomorrow. Tell me, before surgery, what was your biggest fear?
Well, I don't know that I was afraid of anything. I just kept thinking that it could be cured with therapy or this or that. I was trying everything just to avoid the the unknown. And as I learned more about hip surgery, it was less of an unknown, and I was more comfortable with it.
Okay, and you said that you lived with it for a year. Is that how long it took you to finally decide to have the hip replacement done?
No, so I actually had pain for a couple of years after having fallen on my right side.
Oh, you fell.
Yeah, and therapy, massage, all kinds of different non-invasive treatments were proving ineffective. But I went to a cane in January of 2025, and then progressed to crutches in July of 2025. And it was about that time I thought, yeah, this is something I need to learn more about. And so I started investigating more and more about hip surgery, and that's how I came to your drop.
So, just to clarify, the turning point for you, was it the fall, was it the crutches, or was it the more that you researched? Or
well, it was the crutches, because that meant almost no mobility for me. It was, and so it was at that point that I thought this is something that we have to look at the right way to fix it, and that's how we came to you.
Yeah, so I'm guessing you were pretty much without crutches, very mobile, independent guy, and then bang, years later, you're now in crutches, and that made you decide, okay, this is enough. I can't do this.
Exactly. I wasn't enjoying things the way I expected. I retired in January of 2025, and 12 days later I was using a cane. 6 months later I was using crutches, and that wasn't part of my retirement.
That wasn't part of the plan. The crutches were not part of your
No.
plan. I understand. So you want to enjoy your retirement,
Yes,
and you
right.
weren't having that quality of life.
That's right.
Did your family or friends try to talk you in or out of the procedure?
Well, no, nobody really had any influence one way or the other. I can say my sister in the U.S. had a hip replacement in October of 2025, and that kind of led me to, being a little bit more proactive in learning what's available here in Cebu.
Oh, so your sister had a hip replacement, and then that gave you a little bit of confidence. Oh, if she can do it, so can I.
Yeah, I'm going to say that's probably the mentality, yeah.
Now, when it came to the day of surgery, walk us through the first 24 hours after the procedure. What surprised you the most?
That I could put weight on the joint almost immediately. It was less of a physical issue, more of a mental issue for me, because I've been avoiding putting weight on that leg for a year.
Oh.
So as we went through therapy afterwards, it proved to be just building my confidence that I could put weight on that leg again. And so it was, the only issues that I've really experienced is to maintain the low level of swelling and inflammation. As long as I do that, I'm able to do whatever I want.
Amazing. So you're saying that 24 hours after the surgery, you could put weight?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Well, that afternoon. So less than that, I put weight on it. I think it was 8 hours, something that evening. Anyway.
I think that's a true fear for a lot of the arthritis warriors who are afraid to have the surgery. Some of them are afraid they might not wake up. Some of them are afraid that they might not walk again. And so I'm hoping that when you hear about the story, guys, you can get more inspired and hopefully get a really real consultation and not talk to your neighbors about the fears.
Well, you have a lot of information out on your website that helped tremendously. Listen to other people's stories, their experiences and things. And then I combine that with a lot of other research. But everything went flawlessly in my estimation. I mean, everything from the anesthesiologist to the operation itself, the recovery, the nurses afterwards, the hospital that we went to, I couldn't speak more highly of the whole operation, the whole experience.
Thank you so much. You did your research as well. I could tell that you knew about things that are only known if you do the deep research. You knew about, the intraoperative x-rays, you knew about the approach, so you did your fair share of research.
Yeah, I mean, that's my nature, understanding my topics and making decisions based on the facts, not just, what I may hear. Comparing my sources, things like that.
Yeah, and that is a very analytical, but it's also a good way to deal with life in general.
Sure.
Yeah, so was there a tough day during the recovery where you wanted to give up? Is there any such day that you can recall?
No.
No?
No. It was, like I say, they paced me, I got up, I put weight on it, and, we let the swelling go down, things like that. Everybody was very methodical about how they took me from one step to the next, literally one step to the next. And I was in the hospital for 3 days, checked out before noon on the third day. Everything was great.
Amazing. So tell us about this transformation from outside the hospital to right now. You're already 3-4 weeks after. How are you doing? What are you doing currently? Where are your crutches?
Oh, they're nowhere to be found. So the transition for us, we live in the province here in Cebu, and it's mountainous. So we stayed here in Cebu City for 2.5 weeks following surgery, just to make it more convenient for therapy, and so I wasn't trying to navigate down, steep inclines and declines and things like that. But so 2.5 weeks after I went home, and I surprised everybody. I just walked down the inclines, walked down the stairs.
Inclines and down the stairs.
Yeah. It was a surprise to me because I hadn't done that yet here in therapy. But it worked out really well.
So how far would you say you're able to walk right now without crutches?
Well, I've left the hotel this morning and walked to the car and walked up here and walked. I've probably put on 5,000 to 6,000 steps a day on my step tracker.
Oh wow, 5,000-6,000 steps just today.
Well, not yet today, but in a day, that's what I usually put on.
In a day, that's your average.
I'm probably at about 1,500 right now.
Wow. You mentioned also earlier that you're doing well, and then the limp is almost gone. Would you say there's no limp?
Yeah. So we discussed the management of the inflammation has probably been the most challenging for me. I do too much maybe, and the inflammation comes up, and I wait for it to go down. But using yesterday morning, for example, I had very little inflammation, and I walked without a limp. Now I have a little bit of inflammation, and then you have a little bit of a limp.
Okay, so
perfectly manageable.
Definitely, I would say that the limp can be with inflammation. For other patients, it's because of their weakness, but you seem very strong. What's the advice that you would give someone that is out there right now, suffering, probably in their house, in their room, not walking, still afraid to take the next step of surgery?
Yeah, so I've been there. Do your research. You can feel a lot more comfortable with knowledge, and there's a lot of knowledge out there. Google is your friend. The doctor's website is your friend. A lot of different resources out there. I say go to different resources and compare them, and you'll end up getting the best of all of the different resources, and you'll understand more about what it is why you have to have it done, and what it entails to get it done. And it's a little bit of an effort to put yourself through the therapy afterwards, but it's certainly worth it.
That's very true. So mga arthritis warriors, I would do the same. I would tell you the same thing. You can get a second, third opinion, do all your research, meet different doctors, and ultimately decide who you feel comfortable with and do all the research. Last question. If there's one thing you wish that you would have known earlier before your surgery, what is that one thing?
I don't know. I think it went pretty much as expected.
As expected.
You know, I had a spinal block and sedation during the operation, and because of some of my physical challenges, the sedation was very light. But I can tell you that I feel very strongly that because I did my research, being slightly awake during the operation and everything, that prepared me for knowing what was going on. And I didn't. I had no anxiety, nothing related to that, and so that. But there's really been no surprises. I really don't think there were any surprises. It went like what I thought.
Okay, great. So thank you so much, sir. Mga arthritis warriors, please like, follow, and share this with your friends who are in pain, who are unable to get out of the house on crutches. I hope this inspires you guys. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.
Take care.
Thank you so much, sir.
Yeah, you're
No
welcome.
charge today, and